So the 051 Woo video has dropped. We all knew that eventually a video was gonna come out, and it looks as though he was hitting the head. For one, for two, as he's laying on the ground, you see feathers everywhere, like white stuff everywhere. A deeper look into it shows you that it's feathers from his jacket, and from the looks of things, it looked like he died like right away, like instantly. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm thinking, like I said, he was shot in the head. It's crazy how desensitized the world is. You know, we've seen so much, especially since like 2020. It seemed like in 2020, everything just started being shown to us, you know? Maybe because we were, going through the COVID shit, but there was not a stone unturned when it came to us seeing gruesome shit. So at this point, it's like we used to it and we actually expect it. THF Zoo's video, his video came out. We've actually been seeing footage and video and pictures of everybody that has lost their lives, except for a chosen few, but not many. We haven't seen any footage from Woo's funeral, any footage, pictures, an obituary or nothing, which I'm assuming that they already, buried him. I would have thought that would have happened last weekend, the weekend that just passed. You know what I'm saying? But it could be possible that they're holding the body for some specific reason, and maybe they're gonna do it this weekend. Who knows? But I feel like they already had the funeral, but I feel like 051 kind of kept that off the internet, and kudos to them for doing that. You have lots of people at a funeral for nobody to be got footage, and posted none, says a lot. That says that they, trying their best to keep this shit dealing with Woo off of the internet. Of course, Woo and Rilla, two totally different situations. I've also been getting DMs from people, from the city saying that they hearing that THF didn't even do that. So I don't know. But what I do know is, like I said, the video just dropped of Woo. Now, of course, I cannot show that video on here. I can't show the video on here, I do have the video though, so, it's already, scourging through social media or whatever. So eventually you'll see it. DM me on IG and, I'll shoot it to you. But other than that, yeah, kind of hard to see, kind of hard to watch, especially considering the type of person that Woo was. I feel like Woo was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Woo was a real good dude. I felt like push come to shove, when it's all said and done, Woo was for the betterment of the youth. And any man or woman that's for the betterment of the youth, you gotta give him some leeway, because we all go through shit, we all do shit, we all fall short of the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Bezu was a good guy. I feel like a lot of these guys that lose their lives, I feel like they're good people, but they have to be a certain type of way because of the streets and shit like that. I feel like the streets make people be a certain type of way. Just like we've always heard that 051, they weren't like that until 46 just kept thinking that they were going to bully 051, and they had to become killers. They had to become killers, because if they didn't, shit, they would have just been getting pushed around in the street. Okay, we gonna let 46 continue to take our people out and not do nothing. Okay, you got the Met boys over here. You know what I'm saying? You got the moles over here. You got everybody looking at y'all, and y'all ain't doing nothing. All right, cool. Y'all finna be extinct then. We finna take all y'all out. That's when everybody get to looking from the outside in, and motherfuckers get the 9 niggas want to come on your block. And before you know it, shit, niggas done took y'all block, I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's just how the streets are. And if you're not street, you're not familiar with it, I understand. I feel like a lot of people be trying to understand the streets without being street or without ever being involved in the streets. And that's one of the most difficult things that you can do. When you see NBA players, when you see NFL players, you see them out there dunking and throwing touchdowns, catching interceptions and stealing the ball, dribbling and USA, performances and all of that. And it just looked like, man, shit, anybody can do it because they make it look so graceful. They make it look so easy. But at the end of the day, behind the scenes is what you don't see. And it's the same thing with the streets. Behind the scenes is what everything happens at. It's where everything happens at. Because we don't see shit for real until after something major has happened. So it's like we don't see the practice and the street shit and the underhanded shit that goes into, whatever it is that they doing. And like I said, it sounds crazy, but that's just what it is. So, those of y'all shorties that are in the street, this is who my primary audience is. I got a lot of people that follow my channel according to my analytics from 18 to 30. And this is that gap right there. This is where most of the killing and shit like that come from. But yeah, you got your shorties, like from 13 to like, I'm gonna say from 13 to like 18 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That you got your babies and shit like that, which they doing a lot and they got a lot going on, but it's the ones that are from 18 to like 30. These are the ones that are really, causing havoc in the street for real, for real. Why? Because they're a little bit more smart. They're a little bit more strategic. These shorties, they doing shit, getting caught, telling on themselves. They caught on camera. They got their phones with them. They pinging out towers and stuff like that. And so, these are the ones that I'm talking to. And I want to ask y'all a question. And this is the question that I want to ask y'all. And you can get in the comment section and you can answer this question. Or you can take some time out and reflect and honestly think about this question. What is it? Actually, I have it's a compound question. It's two. What is it that intrigues you so much about the street? That's one. Two, what is it that you expect to get out of the streets? Now, like I said, think about those questions before you answer them. And if you intelligent, like I got faith in you and I know that you are, when you come up with the answer to those questions, you're going to realize that guess what? Shit don't even really make sense for real. Straight up. Man, rest in peace, Woo, and rest in peace to all of the fallen soldiers, man. It's your boy, SN. I'm out.